and the ancestors are looking out for us. God Hayes is exposing them, man.
Okay, you see that chair right there? See how big it is?
Yeah.
Now look at the Pope chair under it. Scroll down, look at the Pope chair under it.
Never have it been made so clear.
Young TV. Young.
We running the game right now.
Young TV.
Time to take over.
Young
We the hottest in the game. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you just not tuned in.
TV.
Share, like on your Instagram, Facebook.
Young TV.
If you tuned in, we broadcasting live from 2030, baby.
Young TV. Young
Taking over the game, baby. Oh yeah.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Young TV.
Get them likes up in the air, you heard me?
Young TV.
Ride by. Hotel Islam.
Young TV.
Assalamu alaikum. Shalom alaikum. Peace.
Young
Be unto you.
TV.
Hit that like.
Hey, this video not for everybody. For the people that think they're not Moors, go to Europe or Africa or somewhere. And we'll leave it at that. But this video is for the people who know what time it is and where we at now with this. Now, these are critical pieces. In the Big Mama's meeting at Big Mama's house, part 8, I think it was, me and Mark Rod just did. Rod presented a receipt of the Judicial Act. Now, he gave me a series of receipts to go along with the Judicial Act, and then once he did that, he wanted me to do a breakdown on it, right? So I did a breakdown on it with AI. We presented that in the Big Mama's tape, the Big Mama's part 8 we just did. And me and Rod gonna be live tomorrow at 9 o'clock, y'all, going over more details of what some of the stuff I'm about to say. Now, what we found out is me and Rod through digging, and then Rod gave me, hey, turn that down. Hey, Hatim, turn that down. Hey, what we found out is that when Rod gave me all those receipts, and then yesterday he gave me the final key. I guess it was Big Mama, because I had put some stuff together from based on what he gave me and got the rundown. And then when he gave me that final key about the George Washington challenge, that put it all together. Because we see that what they did is, let me give you a quick rundown of what they did. What they did is they hijacked the Constitution in 1789. Once they hijacked the Constitution, they then proceeded to create their own jurisdiction through the Judicial Act. And then from that point, they then began to create all these new acts under that new jurisdiction, like the Nationalization Act, where they invited pretty much Slavics to take our status, right? And if you joined on with them, you became a free white man under their new system, but they robbed you and you still had to pay tax as a free white man. So some Moors joined on with them and became free white man. Some Moors said to hell with your system. And then so they got labeled as outcasts, blackballed. That's how because this is a Freemason deal. In a Masonic lodge, when you want to join, they vote you in, and all the people in the lodge got to vote you in with a white ball. if one black ball is found in the ballot, then you would be accepted. So the black ball, also if you didn't take the citizenship and give up your sovereignty, you got blackballed. You became blacks and coloreds, right? Now, the whole scheme and rundown triggers down from 1790. Keep in mind there were 14 presidents before this. Keep in mind about the Articles of Confederation. Keep in mind about the Iroquois Confederation, which is pretty much the same thing. All right. So in 1790, they then created the Nationalization Act where they said we got to put people in our boat so we can get some money from these bankers. So they started inviting everybody over. And they gave them citizenship as free white man, gave them land. Any more they didn't want to do it, they screwed them out. You just a sucker and handed them a sucker. Right? And then after that, all of these, this is what you call, this is how we're gonna, this is all evidence when we take it to court. This is what you call fruits of a poisonous tree. We got to get a tape on that in the law school. So from this hijack of the Constitution and the Judicial Act, this starts the fruits of the poison. Everything after that is fraud. Keep in mind. All right. So the Nationalization Act, fraud. Then they created to steal our maps and all of our books and our technology, because we had ancient technology over here as the Tarzizians. And we were a mix of extraterrestrial culture through the ant race, through the Yigis, through this is where all of our knowledge from extraterrestrials. We got to talk about extraterrestrials, the Moors over here in America. All right, to build certain things, this is a long story. We got tapes on this in the Native American playlist, but they created the Patent Act in the same year, 1790. And that was to steal all of our technology. And then if you had we invented heavy equipment, farm equipment, and we was using it. But once they created the patent, if you didn't sign up as a free white man and then got your stuff patented through them, then you was an outcast. So they took your stuff. They took your stuff and said it belonged to them because they got your patent on it now. Right? And then, so they started taking all of our technology through that 1790 Patent Act. Then they ran another scheme where they could steal all of our books and maps and then rewrite them. They call it the Copyright Act in the same year. And then they ran the Residential Act to set up the address. And they said they casted the net because these Freemasons claim to be fishermen of men. Right? So let's go back, because people blame people are mad at the Moors, but the people you mad the wrong people. The people that did us ain't the Moors. They ain't the Moors. I figured it out. They are avatars, reptilians in human skin, synagogues of Satan, who claim to be the real Israelites, us, the real Moors, but they not. They are reptilians driving human cars. Revelations chapter 3 verse 9, Revelations 2 verse 9, right? And they ain't us because they on origin from America. The Moors origin from America, and I got a whole tape coming out on that to end all on it. But they created the Residential Act, like I said. They created passed all these acts under the fruits of a poisonous tree, going back to the hijack of the Constitution. All right. And they began giving people our rights and our land and our castles and our money. That's why now, still to this day, people that come over here from other countries get all this money to open up businesses in our community. It's a part of the going back to the set, but it's a Freemason game. The people who hijacked us were Freemasons and secret societies. That's who hijacked us. The Luciferian agenda. And the Luciferians hijacked the Freemasons, and they used the Freemasons to capture to set up this paradigm. That's why the Postmaster is connected and all it. right? So this is a Freemason operation. George Washington was a Freemason, and he wasn't born in America. He was born in Barbados. And in 1751, he joined the British Army. He and his brother. His brother lasted a couple of weeks or months, and he died from tuberculosis, according to the documents. But they show you the George Washington House in Barbados. This is what connect George Washington to Benjamin Banneker Bay, because Benjamin Banneker Bay was born in Barbados, but at 1 year old he was brought to America because his family had money. But so Benjamin Banneker and George Washington go back, and George Washington was a Nubian, a dark skinned dude. He wasn't no Moor though. And keep in mind, some Moors betrayed us because they swore oath overall to the Masons versus their people. When you swear oath to the Masons, you swear oath to the Masons over your people, over anything. The brotherhood come first. So that is the key. That's a key component. When some Moors were part of these fictitious new lodges set up after they overthrew our Grand Lodge in Philadelphia, which is still right now there today, and still got the inside looking like Egyptians with Egyptian statues and everything inside. I guess they stopped. I haven't seen them doing the Mamas Parade. They do the Mamas Parade in Philadelphia to mark us every January 1st or so. So where they make blackface and wear fezzes and march by the George Washington building. And end up at the George Washington Masonic Lodge, and it's all alchemy, ritual, what you call spell work, where they keep this ritual going to keep us asleep. They also do it in Europe where they blackface and wear our face. We got pictures of it, right? Because you got to keep in mind, people blaming the Moors. We got overthrew. We was the ones over here protecting the North Gate. 1492, we got overthrew by avatar reptilians who look like us, but they ain't us. In Granada, they wasn't even able to come. The devil wasn't even able to get over here before 1492. And then from that point, and keep in mind, 1492, let's talk about that. The people who helped Columbus sell over here were Moors, but not agreeable. These people's family were kidnapped. You don't know about April Fool's Day? Where they tricked the Moors, and where Queen Isabella and them tricked the Moors to think that they were going to leave, and then didn't let them leave. Well, yeah, like they was going to get them on a boat, then blew the boats up, blew the house up, stole and pillaged and raped they stuff. And then because they couldn't let them get over here to tell us, hey man, they got us on this side. Y'all need to suit up and boot up, scrap up, cause they coming. They couldn't tell us to scrap up cause they coming. Right? We ain't even see it coming. It's the most, you gotta keep in mind, go back and study the book we put out called The Book of Tricknology by Yaku, and what he taught his people how to trick us. Okay? So the Moors who helped them sell over here already was coming over here for hundreds of years, maybe even thousands. But they were originally from here. They were descendants originally from here who sailed over. We sailed over to Africa in the 400s and to Europe in the 400s to help them with the think about this. When you go to Africa, why they ain't got running water in a lot of places, but we got running water over here. In a lot of places, we got sewer systems over here. Why they don't got that in Africa? Because the Moors created the sewer systems, and then we went to Europe when they was peeing in pots and throwing out of windows and set the sewer system up over there. Look, at this point, we know you killer clowns be listening. At this point, we don't got no deal. You can't really mess with Young because Young don't got no oath with you. I ain't never been to your lodges, your temples, none of it. So you can't mess with me. And by right, you're supposed to protect me. By right. And promote me. Because you know what time it is. I got your head already. For the Dallas district, at least. It's 11 more districts. 12 really counting DC. Right? But Here's this. So they helped. So they when that April's Fool's Day happened and they kidnapped. They kept, but what they did is they were smart. Isabella kept the navigators, who was us, who knew how to sail back and forth because we knew about the Atlantic current. And so she kidnapped their families and held them and said that you're gonna help our spy Columbus sail over here and scope us out. And you better not open your mouth, and your family gonna die. We'll burn them all at the stake. So what would you do if they had your daughters and your sons and your wife, and you a navigator, and you saying, man, if I gotta take the devil over here and I can't say nothing, else my kids will get slaughtered. So that's how they got over here, and they use our flags to sneak by the Barbary Moors because they had got they sat Granada, they got the seals and the flag. That's what they needed. The flag is important because in the gangbang culture they got a flag, and they got false flagging as well, where somebody bang say they from the Crip Bloods and they rocking around with a blue rag. So Queen Isabella false flag to get over to America with the spy on us. That's why if you go read Christopher Columbus diaries, you'll see that he was a spy based on the dialect of his information. So he came back to Scopus. Oh, they easy. They nice. Because we was only nice to him because he was with our people and we didn't know he was an infiltrator. He was with our people. That's why we was nice. They infiltrated us. They snuck in, sneaky and snaky. They didn't just come over and, hey, take this, take that. Nah. They worked their way in. But like I say, me and Rod gonna be going live tomorrow to break more of the 1790 paradigm where they made the switch. Where they switched us over into they pretty much set up the matrix, switched us into an artificial paradigm or be enslaved. Because you're either free white man or a slave. And they had to put free white man there because they were white people that were slaves. The real white people, according so they had to put free white, just like they on they Masonic lodges, they got to put free there because they were once slaves. We don't gotta put free and accepted. We don't need your acceptance to be a part of your grand scheme of things. What to call it, the opposite magnet, I'll think of it in a minute. They call it the Great Works. I'll think of the name of it in a minute. It's called the Magnum Octus or something like that. They great scheme and scam. And that's why the Postmaster plays an important role with the net that they cast, the federal jurisdiction to cast anybody. Pretty much, it's like a state of exist. It's not the land. The federal. Keep in mind, the federal jurisdiction is not the land. That's the game. That's the game we trapped in, the federal jurisdiction. But the game. So the federal jurisdiction is not the land. It's the minds that are the minds. It's the minds that agree. Voluntary compliance, it's the minds that agree. It's a contract because if it come from the Constitution is a contract. Therefore, all these things derive from contract. The Judicial Act is a part of a contract. But like I say, it's fruits of a poisonous tree. That's what we're gonna present in the international courts, where it's already being presented as we speak. Since they want to stop because we had to try another way since they stopped the Empress from going to present it. Since they stopped Malcolm X from going to do it, we had to go another way. Since you're gonna try to shoot people and rob them and pillage their stuff and then act like you don't know nothing about it. I'm telling you, man. So we're going etherical now. We're going spiritual now. The spirit is going to plead our case already. Because all we need is the mines. The federal jurisdiction got the mines. We needed the mines. We ain't got to set up no community, none of that. All we needed is the mines to break the spell. I'm telling you, man. And for you suckers, and I'm gonna hand you a sucker when I see you. If you say you from America and you ain't no more. Now you might have another tribe, a family tribe under that, but I'm gonna hand you a sucker, and then you could go to Europe, Africa, Spain, whatever you think you from, because you ain't from America. Or you might be from here. You just, you one of those people we let come chill on our land. Because we the mound, and then somebody opened their damn mouth to say the Moors ain't the real mound builders. Well, you need to go to my playlist, Chief Native American playlist, and then you need to go watch a tape I got called Hindu Influence in Native American and Egyptian culture. And you got to understand the cobra. Why we put the cobra on our headdress? That's dealing with our extraterrestrial connection over here when the Naga people came to Earth and mixed in with us. We got Naga in us. That's why some of y'all got long necks over here in America. All right, it's cultures that practice that, dealing with the Nagas. But the Nagas, if you go look at the ships that they came in, they were pyramid-shaped ships. Why? Go look up a cobra. A king cobra is the only snake that build a mound. Go look it up. King cobras build mounds. The only snake. So when they came, they brought this information. Another group that adds on to the mound building, because like I told y'all, the mounds are a combination of several extraterrestrial races teaching us. So the first step is the Kohen Cobra, the Naga beings who build on a planet live in mounds. They came here and mixed in with us, built mounds, showed us how to build them. And then, so they are part of our DNA. And then there's another group called the Tarzizians from City One that the Hopi people talk about, the Dogong people. And they came down and taught us how to dig underground tunnels. And you go study ants and study their culture, get an idea. They came here and taught us how to dig underground. So they added under the mounds, underground tunnels now. Right? Now then another group come from Joman, from the Artorial store system. They got cone-shaped heads. They made a movie about him. Doc talked about him. They said that he was crazy. Another man talked about him named Richard Shaver. They live underground. They got a 47 chromosome where they got down, where they have a certain type of way they look, and they the ones that came and interfered, that talk about the pointy added the point to the top of the pyramid. Go pull up a pharaoh called Pharaoh Huni, who was part of these cone heads, where he got a cone shaped head, and he tried to put the bent pyramid. Go look at the bent pyramid. And that's when they started to try to put a top on it, influenced by these conehead people who came over and mixed in with us through Hoshin and the Huns. The Huns, people call the Huns. Right? And so all that combined into these enlightened people who could now build these things. And what they did is they built ships and sailed over to Africa and started building them over there and mixing in with the people and creating new tribes. Because like I said, the Moors like getting booty, the MUU Moors like getting booty with everybody. I gotta say that because people act like that's a difference. MUU Moors versus the old. No, that's the only. It's only one Moors. Ain't no other Moors. It's only one Moors. You trying to act like it's two different Moors? Nah, those people who came wasn't us. They say they us, but they are not. They are the synagogues of Satan. What is a synagogue? A temple, a building, a body. They are reptilians who could create avatars. Go watch the movie Avatar, where humans could transfer their consciousness to another body. Your government got that. These reptilians are millions of years ahead of they've been had that. Reptilians. So they can transfer their body. They can come here, take your DNA, blow somebody in a tube. They're doing that now. They call it cloning, your government. Right? And then they can transfer the consciousness to a body and walk around with it. They showed you that in Man in Black. And then they whole game was to use puppets and middlemans. They call them the Canaanites, who really connect to us as well. Because the Canaanites are children of God as well, anew, down through Enki, through Noah, who was the son of Enki. Utnapishtim is one of his names. And so, and we already broke down the part about America being, because it's some secrets that the secrets that these people keep is that America is the real house of Israel, and that you are the real lost sheep of the house of Israel, you Moors, wandering lost at sea as blacks, Negroes, and coloreds. That's the secret. I'm telling you, man. And you are the children of Israel. This is the land of Israel. This is the land of milk and honey. This is the promised land. Why you think everybody trying to get over it? I'm telling you, man. So yeah, so that's the influence. So, and that comes really, other people called us the enlightened ones, or the Moors, or Maru, the scientists, the builders. And how do we get all of this information? Is because people who got labeled as bad guys by Enlil, called the Igigis, came down from Mars, and they also mixed in with us and taught us information. That's what the Mounds, some of those Mounds are landing pads for extraterrestrials. The Moors want what? That's why the Moors want what? The Moors want what? Hey, Glass Moon, why do the Moors want what? Only thing we Moors want is what's ours. That's it. What's ours. That's it. So what do the Moors want? Because the Moors are the real Americans. The Moors are the real children of the Turtle Island that sailed around. The Moors are not from Europe, not from North Africa. And that letter that George Washington sent to Muhammad was game. It's all game. It's fraudulent. It's because George Washington was an agent, and he was trying to he was misleading the Sultan on on what the game was. They was secretly overthrowing us. They didn't want them to know that. He said that, boy, I don't want to make fun of you, Glass Moon, but you know, okay, whatever. The Moors want America. No, the Moors are the Americans. The Moors are America. This is our land. They can't. Why you think when they, if they arrest you, when they arrest somebody that's from another country for a crime, they send them out of their country. But the Moors, they just create more prisons to keep locking them up, because they can't kick them out. Why don't they send them? If the Moors from somewhere else, why don't they export out them back to where they over there? Yeah, because it's a bunch of game. So we don't got time to argue with nobody that ain't did their homework. We got 2,700 tapes out in this game. Somebody that come, they want to blurt stuff out because they heard somebody else said that. It sound cool, but until you run to a scholar, a real scholar, he blurt stuff out like the Moors want America. Yeah, like a real scholar would say, the killer clowns who rock our crowns, who know about the Mounds. If they were to talk to you and you told them that, they'll laugh at your ass. Well, why you wouldn't laugh? They'll say, and then walk off and laugh on you with their back turned to you. They'll laugh like he don't even know. We keeping these Moors from knowing that this is their land. That's why we got their crown on, and that's why we carried the COINTELPRO to where anybody coming out talking about it, we shut them down and put them in our underground facility called Florence, Colorado, just like they did Jeff Fort. Go look up. Hey, I tell you what, Moon, go look up Jeff Fort with a fez on, and then come back, talk to me, and then you ask me why he got 200 and some years in prison from the killer clowns who rock our crowns, who know about the Mounds, the same ones who got the Disney World set up and Six Flags and all these other things, stealing our kids. So we don't got time to argue with children. The Moors want America. The Moors, we already in America. We already sitting here in America. We've been here. What you mean want it? It's like I guess he meant to say we want the U.S. corpse. Nah, the U.S. corpse they could kick rocks. The U.S. corpse can kick rocks because it's fruits of their whole system. The federal allegedly, because they could try to come out, like I say, they could try to mess with us and try to block this truth. But the thing is, your whole system is based on the fruits of a poisonous tree. It's based on robbery, bribery. The list goes on. And I'm telling you, man, if y'all don't surrender and run our shit, the brick about to bust you upside the head. That's Big Mama's backup plan. The brick. So because my Big Mama used to always say, ain't no such thing as a fair fight when somebody bigger than you, because America has been the bully, the Jolly Green Giant, they say. And they been busting and picking, taking, going over. Y'all sorry? No, you're not. You're a democracy now. Iraq, everywhere. Venezuela now, everywhere. You're not sovereign. You want us. So they've been bullying everybody. And what happened to Debo when Craig picked up the brick and bust his behind upside the head? Telling you. So the brick upside your head is coming if you don't bow down and kiss our shoes, just like it said in Revelations 3 verse 9. But you don't hear me though. I'm telling you, man. They don't bow down and kiss the feet. They know that God picked us. That's why we the chosen. I'm telling you, man. The game is up. The gig is up. Everybody should know now. So the only thing we waiting on is enough. We got enough minds now. If you go on the internet, like Rob was telling me yesterday, Rob said, man, if you go on the internet now, the algorithm is the truth. Like the algorithm is everybody saying that, hey, man, we know the game now. Like we know we from here. We know, we know got the whole layout. The whole algorithm is going along with what's happening, man. Yeah, that brick. No such thing as a fair fight. So keep in mind, either you get down or lay down. Cause we ain't the same no more. This ain't the same bunch. We ain't the Martin Luther King bunch. This ain't the same Martin Luther King bunch. We bad too. We bad to the bone too. Just like you. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, go look at the demographics and how the youngsters moving around. And you tell me, am I making stuff up? They ain't going. And it ain't no physical. We ain't trying to. It ain't no physical. Oh, we'll go gun for gun with you because we ain't no dang on savages like y'all. Where y'all line up, beat your drum, march musket to musket in the middle of the field and blast each other. No, we don't do like that. We hide in trees. We hide underground. We hide under the mounds, man. We guerrilla warfare. This is guerrilla land, baby. We guerrilla land. Guerrilla warfare, guerrilla clan. The guerrilla clan taught us how to see all. Look, the guerrilla clan is one of our war clans, and they taught all the other clans how to do the guerrilla warfare. That's why when they came over here, they got mad. They was they hiding in trees. They hiding in they scared. They ain't never seen nothing like it. The guerrilla clan. Then we had the werewolf clan. The werewolf clan taught us how to charge. And how to move in packs, how we move in packs, like little small packs. And then we have a leader of that pack. They call her in the wolf clan the Lobo. So the wolf clan taught us how to move in packs. And that was a part of our guerrilla warfare. We incorporated all these war strategies. That's why they got the same tactics now in the U.S. military, because they stole all of our shit. That's why half of their helicopters, most of all of them, named after one of our family tribes, who all fall under the umbrella as Moor. Just like it's different races of Chinese, but they all fall under the race of Chinese as a noun. So it might be from Thailand. He may be Thailand Chinese, and another type of Chinese. So it's different types of Chinese, but they fall all under the Chinese banner as nationality. So Moor is it's different family tribes that fall under that because we was the melting pot. But you don't hear me though. But don't quote. Yeah, you got the Eagle clan, right? You got the Hawk clan. You got the Buffalo clan on the land. Matter of fact, like I say, when I got a whole list of questions. When Rod get on, I'm gonna let Rod break a lot of this stuff down because Rod know more about the different clans and how they moved and how they, you know what I'm saying, what their strategies was and how we incorporated it into all of our different tribes. Somebody said crypto silver is back. Anything with crypto in it, man, you know what I'm saying? You might want to look more into it. Look for the scam. Man, anything with crypto, look for the scam. I'm telling you, man. There's a scam somewhere. Now just silverbacks alone, now that sounds good, but just crypto is the computer. Nah, man, that's the quantum astral command game. So we're dealing with several different. So we're dealing with extraterrestrials who came mixed in with us and taught us, and then we're dealing with other extraterrestrials who came and wanted to stop this information. And this pretty much plays out in the War of the Gods. If you listen to the War of the Gods, so how it was this one group, then Enlil said, "Oh, I want to get rid of these guys because they doing too much, or they learning they don't want to bow down no more." You don't remember? It's called the God concept. They came with these people who came to do us. They came with a God concept, meaning dependence. God needs you to need Him in order for Him to be God. Let me say it again. God needs you to need Him in order to be God, because the truth of the matter is God is in each and every one of you, according to the scriptures that He breathed His Spirit, and that's John in His Spirit into every man. Every man. And it backs Genesis up too, where he says God, put His Spirit into the man. So it's like this. I'm telling you, man. So they came with the God complex saying that, oh, we got to make them dependent on us. And so they had, that's when the 1790 thing take place, where these Masons said we got to make them dependent on us. How can we make them dependent on us? We got to take everything from them and then, make them beg for crumbs as we dangle it on the screen for them. If they join us, we'll make them puppets. And the ones that do join us, and we'll give them a little degrees, and then we'll send them out and let them shepherd his people, like Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and Martin Luther King, truth be told. So he found out they was running game, and then he said, "Oh, I've been to the mountaintop. I seen the promised land. Yeah, the promised land right here where we standing. That's where he's been. Yeah, boom, shoot him in the neck. They was aiming for his temple though. Why? Because it's Knights of Templar. The CIA assassins. CIA is Knights of Templar going back to the church. CIA assassin. Go look at the symbols. And them same people is the umbrella corporation, and they alchemists, and they the ones that put the chemicals together, and that would explain all the drug operations against us here at the North Gate, the Moors. All the drug operations to keep us docile, retarded, babies born, deformed, all this. Yeah, allegedly, for YouTube purposes only. Hey man, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, man. They didn't want us to, like I said, Killer Clowns. I know y'all watch every single tape I put out, and you try to shadow ban every single tape that I talk about this type of stuff out, because the truth makes you go down. The truth make your empire go down. The truth make your empire go down. And the addiction, they keep us entertained. So you got enter, which is that your higher self in you. You got tamed, meaning control and caged. Then you got right? Mental, the mind, right? So keep your into higher self, your higher mind controlled with football, video games, and little Flip just got, you know what I'm saying? Somebody just felt on his booty at the concert, then the fight broke out. Man, nobody, come on, man. And they get that shit a million plays online. But this shit, they gon' even the tape I just put out about George Washington Challenge where it cracked the codes of the 7-7. It pretty much exposed their whole game from the 1790 perspective. And they don't know what they gonna do, make it only get 1,500 plays. And when I saw when I even put it out, it ain't even sending notifications to nobody. Nobody got notifications that tape got out. Just like there nobody get notifications that I'm going live right now on this type of information. It's all part of the game, man. So you are the true children of Israel. You are the real Jews. You are the Moors. You are the mound builders. You are the real inventors of the light bulb, icebox, refrigerator, stoplight, cell phone. And leave I go on. I got a whole book of 1,000 inventions that the Nubians in America created. You are the enlightened ones. That's what the pyramid on the back of the dollar represents, the Illuminati, which really is our seal. Represent us, the pyramid builders, the enlightened ones, the Illuminati. Right? And that's what the other seal represents. We had different zoo types over here, but two of the main zoo types were the phoenix and the griffin. The phoenix and the griffin. That's why you see griffins in Philadelphia and all of our ancient cities over here, like Chicago. You see griffins on top because griffins was one of our symbols over here. Our mascot. We call them mascots. And a lot of different tribes over here had their mascots. Totem pole. Right? That's what we call it. Totem pole created the mascots. And then so they got these, and we used to have sports over here where tribes battle tribes in football and basketball before Christopher Columbus. He even wrote about it in his diary. So they were over here, these indigo, that's how they start calling us Indian. Indigo means dark skin, black, because it's got indigo ink when you're doing tattoos. So he said indigo people, they turned that into India. Right? These indigo people were over here playing with rubber balls. How do we get the rubber? Armax. That's what the Armac means, the rubber people. We are the original Armacs, descendants of them. But like I said, different extraterrestrial groups came in, mixed in with the Armacs that was over here, and that spawned us. We are a supreme being. We're not just regular humans. We are advanced human beings based on the extraterrestrial upgrades that mixed in with our DNA. That's why we smarter, more intelligent. That's why we dominate in sports around the world. When you send the U.S. basketball team around, they the baddest around any sport. If you was to put an NFL super team together and then send them over to any other country, they would landslide them in any sport. And a lot of the people you see that's even competing with us in other countries, they Nubians that came from here, whether they Jamaican or they say they African. A lot of them came mixed with us or came from here. Telling you, man, we dominate everything. We dominate science. We dominate math. They want to come over. Everybody want to come learn from us. Everybody want to sag their pants like us, even though sagging was a CIA op. So they can set up stemming down from bail through a certain code that we had that said, hey, man, a man going in another man is against the law, abomination. And so when it stemmed from jail where people show their butt crack, and that's what that says is when you're in jail, if they can see your crack ass, that is, it's distinctive. It's similar. Crack rock and crack ass is similar. They have similar smells, but there's a distinct difference, right? One, both of them you can sell. Both can be sold worldwide, right? Thanks to Hitler on the crack rock. Hitler made it worldwide. But Yeah, when you're selling that in jail, that means you're available for sex. And it's only men in there, so I guess you're giving it out to men. So all you young boys walking around showing your butt, keep in mind they come from, hey man, I'm giving up booty in jail. And they just made it cool, like it's a cool thing, and passed it around. And then the people who set it up, they sitting back laughing at you. And if it weren't for this is how people. Yeah, Raven Rock. What about Raven Rock? Shout out Sister Karima, man. Sister Karima, I've been knowing Sister Karima a long time. Hey, yeah, what about Raven Rock? Raven Rock was one of our secret locations where we was hiding our gold at. That's where the gold right now. That's where they put the gold back at. One of Big Mama's safety deposit boxes. She got more than one. That ain't the Raven Rock ain't the biggest one. The biggest one is at Mount Rushmore. Mount Rush the Moors? You mean Mount Rush the Moors? Mount Rushmore. You mean Mount Rush the Moors? Yeah, and they put a movie out about it called National Treasure Hunt with a Knights of Templar sitting there guarding it right now. And they've been guarding it since then, since Albert Pike. Albert Pike wrote to his, that's why they really wanted to come on us hard once they found out about the underground gold city in the Black Hills on the Lakota land. Go back, look up United States War with the Lakota people. They really was coming out to try to steal that land. Albert, the Freemasons. They wanted control of our gold. And it goes back to Inky. Inky brought shitloads of gold over there, so much he caused the earth to tilt a couple of degrees. Then another being come along named Cortez. From Hernan Cortez comes on as a Spaniard Knights of Templar. And he get over here, they mistake him for Inky because Inky gave him a prophecy saying that he was going to return in, I think it's 52 cycles or so. And boom, he pops up. They think that it's him. And they say he came back in a white avatar. This dude Cortez must have been a dark-skinned dude for them to mistake him from Inky. That's another thing, too. They covering up. And he got to have a beard like Inky and kind of be tall, like at least 6 foot. And so they saw him and they gave him boatloads of gold, sunk his boat, almost sunk his boat. You know what he said? Man, this too much gold for the Pope and my king. I got to hide some of this. He goes to the island of Nova Scotia, set up a secret, the Knights of Templar set up a secret underground where they put a lot of the gold there. Then the Pope found out that they was getting over on him. The Pope sent another group of people that was working for him out to search for the gold. And this how the Knights of Templar lost their power in America to the Killer Clowns because they betrayed the Pope. They lost their power to the Killer Clowns, the ones who rock our crown. That they took over in 1870. They set up over here in 1870. The 13 Killer Clowns, right? The 13 Shriners. They set up the Shriner organization in 1876, I think it was. Right. But they hit that goal, and then they sent them clowns looking for it. And the clowns had got word that they was hiding on Nova Scotia Island. But the Knights of Templar sent people ahead to go take it out of that spot, and then move it to a church on what you call it today, Wall Street, and set it up under a church called Trinity Church, which is right there. I showed you in the movie. Until Benjamin Banneker, this is his real name, because they try to create this character to send him 100 years ahead of this of the real Benjamin and give him the same attributes. Or he created an almanac, or he created a clock. That's bullcrap. Bullcrap. Wasn't no Benjamin Franklin. He don't even exist. The real Benjamin Franklin is Benjamin Banneker. Okay, stop playing with us. Ain't no more games. You can get mad and try to, you know what I mean? At this point, ain't no more games. But man, where was I at, man? Because I don't want to get sidetracked. Yeah, they said that on Trinity Church, and then they found it. The beginning of these killer clowns who were really knights who betrayed the other knights, like George Washington and Benjamin Banneker, who was working all together, right?
Benjamin Banneker is the one that suggested George Washington change his name from George Augustine to George Washington so he could tie himself to the land, and said that they created this fake fictitious thing after he was part of the Masonic Lodge that he was born in Virginia through the Masonic Lodge. He was born again because in Masonic rituals, you are in a third degree, you are born again through a ritual that they do, which is not our rituals, by the way, for you Prince Halls out there who listening. Those not our rituals. Those are the slave, the Hyksos, who came over here to America, real Egypt, and they were kicked out. We sent them back. We sent them back to Europe. They got kicked out. We rounded all of them up. We cable tied them, cable towed them. We blindfolded them. They rolled their pants legs up because when they got over there, they was walking in sand. But we took all their medals, took everything from them, put them on a boat, and blindfolded them and drove them all over there. Drove them up from over here for a long time. Then they come back later, 1,000 years later. They come back 1,000 years later. We bind them up for 1,000 years. And he come back later. And the person that kicked him out was from over here. His name was Ogmos and Cockmos. They were from over here, right in Memphis. They were a Twa man. They were old Mississippians. I'm telling you, man, a lot of this stuff is just, this information that I'm telling you is just so potent from the ancestors. It's just unreal. And a lot of people just, I don't know how many people understand everything that I'm saying. I'm telling you, man, it's just so straight potent. And I got proof to prove everything that I'm saying. But we cable told them when they got over there, they became rednecks. When we took because they had their neck was burnt. And we got them over there. But that ritual of the cable toll and that's their ritual, not ours. That ain't what we did. The baptism, I'm gonna tell you what they replaced. They replaced the getting hit in the head and putting them under the ground, on the shallow. They replaced that with baptism. When you got to the third degree of the priesthood, you got a baptism. They do that in Christian. They do the real ritual in Christianity at Baptist churches. That's just one thing. I ain't gonna give you the rest. The ancestors said I could give you that, but I ain't gonna give you the rest because the rest is ours, and you can't have it. We only gave you 2 degrees. Fellow craftsman. You only a fellow craftsman. You never made master. And that's why you got made up a degree. Made up a password for it. Talking about some bones. I ain't gonna get into it. But you talking about some bones. Who bones? You talking about Sukente Ray toe bones? Because I ain't no Hiram or Biff. You talking about Sukente Ray toe? Who we got at school that was hit in the head 3 times? That's who you talking about? Ogmos and Cockmos daddy, who is from over here in America. And you know that. That's the secrets you hold. We revealing all your secrets today. That's the secret you hold. Hiro who? We ain't never heard of him. You talking about Hiram? You talking about Haru? That's who you talking about, right? Yeah. The widow's son, the real widow's son. Who's the real widow's son? Our Nana's the widow because Osiris got killed by his evil brother. And then the widow, so she would be a widow. And then her son would be Haru. Stop playing with us. We are not the Malcolm X bunch. We are not the Martin Luther King bunch. Actually, Malcolm X was ready for war. He was setting up for war, but Elijah Muhammad told him to chill. So we like that, but we way worse than that. Because this is a mental war. It says his name was Sukente my tongue tied now because I really want to get off and go back to what I was doing. But I just came on here to update you on the tape we just put out about George Washington, the George Washington challenge, where he said that he's gonna make the Moors forget that they was from here. Not native, not Indians, not nobody. He said the Moors. We're gonna make the Moors forget they were from America. So and he was a Mason. That's That's yes, because you blaming them, you blaming yourself for doing yourself. It's like somebody trying to trick us. And partially we did do it to ourselves. It was suckers who looked like us that infiltrated us that ain't us. And then some suckers amongst us take a couple dollars to try to get ahead. And then you look at it, then they look like, oh, I trade my own people for $1 million or whatever for 22 pieces of silver. I trade my own people for 22 pieces of silver. But if you spin now backwards, you'll see that it say won. Because we already won. Because Michael and his angels fought against the dragon and his angels. But the dragon prevailed not. So we won. It's just that we at this point, we trying to figure out whose side you on. Are you on the winning side or the losing side? Are you fighting with the dragon knowingly or unknowingly? Yeah, not all of us fell for the okie doke. So since we didn't want to become free white man under the Nationalization Act, they said all right, well then you dead. If you ain't a part of our system, you're a dead man. And if you join our system, you're gonna be a dead man too. We just call you an artificial person. You get a couple of white privileges. You get a couple of white privileges. This game. On that note, man, we'll be back. Y'all on TV.
Never have it been made so clear.